Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Oh, my fearing whiskers! I'm late! For a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. No. I'm overdue. I'm really in a stew. No time to say goodbye. Hello, I'm late.
And hello. I am on time. We are not late. I actually watched the timer click down to 0 and said start now because of all the shows not to be late on. One about things being late is probably not the best one to do that with. So a lot of people have been talking lately about certain campaigns and being on time and producing books. And they're not without a point. I'm going to just go on record as with agreeing with that right off the top of the bat. There's a phrase that one of my LCS guys uses called the expiration of expectations. And he specifically applies it to books in the Diamond catalog that continually get pushed back until there's no interest. Part of the reason why I made this particular card look the way it is that, the hourglass is your campaign, and the longer I have to wait for it, that's the diminishment of my interest. Timely delivery matters. Already we've got some, folks in the chat ready to talk about this. Woody Miller says, lovely clip. Yeah, it's can't go wrong with Disney. Best clip, says Mark. I appreciate that. James Hay says, hello, any co-hosts and everyone joining in live chat. I hope that you're doing good and feeling well today. Thank you, James. I am feeling well today. We have no co-hosts. This was just something I chose to put together and talk about today. Jake Tvister is, as chat would call it, late and gay. Although, we're the fans aren't feeling too gay about it. Hail Primetime Fry, glad to see you out there. So I have a very forgiving attitude toward what's late and what's kind of late, because I understand that a lot of this stuff is being put together by people who've never done it before. You can't anticipate things like a pandemic, a paper shortage, a entire fleet of ships embargoed from entering the country that just happen to have your books on them because you printed them in China. So there are things like that. Second books. Oh, well, see, if you're late on your second book, you're just a slow learner. That's on you. You should have learned everything from your first campaign. So I thought the best way to just kind of go over what's late and what's not is personal experience using my own investments, so to speak. So I've got my Indiegogo contributions page pulled up here, and I'm not going to click on all of them because we're familiar with some of them. We know that they're not late yet. The Alterna Comics fall pre-orders, come on, that's not even due till next month. The Zach Friday sale was all back stuff. By the way, I got God King through this and it was fulfilled, so that seems to have been an on-time one. The Alterna pre-orders, that's, you can see I got the inside back cover there. That's not delivered yet, but soon. Cluster Fudge 2. So this was on October 8th, 2021. Let's take a look at what the promised delivery date was on that. It was backed on November 8th, It's going to be estimated fulfillment next month. So again, not any concerns here. I will open these in new tabs from now on because so we shouldn't have to wait to go back. Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter, still funding, so that's still out there. Most customers for CG are very forgiving, but there comes a point when a book is so late, worse is the failure of good communication with the customers, leading to upset. Yeah, have you noticed that some of the people who are like really, really late have made a concerted effort to starting with having some more progress streams? Uncle Ethan, I'm looking at you, proud of you, but we should have had that a little earlier and more of them. But glad to see that happening. Let's go to the next page here. See if we've got anything that's more in line with what we're talking about here. Loco Hero, got it. Fiendish, got it. Cryptidnals. Okay, so estimated deliveries 2021 of December. Next month, we'll talk about that one later. Here's my thing. I don't expect any book to come out on the month and year that it's listed as. I just don't. It's like, yeah, okay, that's not going to happen. If it does, I'm happy. And there are plenty of people who do that, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, everyone's just, shooting for a target that doesn't exist. The Cluster Fudge and the great Cyclopean, the mighty Cyclopean, Cyclopean, I can't remember what his adjective is all the time. Chris Mulovich puts out on time. People who are not Comicsgate, like Miskatonic High, they put out on time. Pocus Hocus puts out on time. So it's not an unattainable and an unachievable goal. It's doable. James, you're asking, what now? Do you want us to name the names of creators who are too far behind or have flat quit on their projects? I'm going to name names if I have to. You're welcome to drop names in the chat. We can talk about those. Ninjablast. Okay, well, now let's take a look at Ninjablast here, because that's got an estimated date of June 2021. And I'm thinking, I do not have this book. I'm almost certain I do not have this book. So that would be one. Okay, it was back in May. I got a delivery estimate of June. So he expected to send this thing out a month after it was done. That expectation has not only fallen short of a month, but July, August, September, October, November, 5 more months. 6 months is when I consider something officially late, because that's when Kickstarter considers something officially late, according to their own guidelines, which I looked up and read forever ago. So Hick, you're saying that Fatal J said he had the books in August, which is, later than this, which again, that falls into things like paper shortages and printers being late. And yes, I'm going to actually go to the column for updates as I bring any of these up. So thank you for reminding me about that. August isn't late. This is late. If he needs help with fulfillment, I know a guy who could talk about that. But here's the thing. Yeah, excuse me, swallowed wrong. In August, Fatal J came up and he said, "Hey, we're late." That's the last update. There's no update in mid-September. There's no update in early October. There's no update in late October. There's no update in November. What's going on? That really assuages so much in the crowdfunding community, is if we know not only that it's late, but why? What happened? I was on my way to pick up the books, and my dog died. He ran out in front of the truck that was carrying the books. The truck flipped. The books landed in the lake. We got to get reprinted. Tell us what's going on. Would it be wrong to expect the product is past mid-production before or during the CF? I don't know. I mean, I think that some of it should be done before you kick the crowdfunder off. You got to have something to show. So you're going to have to put your own money into this at some point. If you're not, especially if you're not the artist yourself. Those of you who are the artists, you can certainly have more done ahead of time than somebody who's the writer who needs an artist and who has to put their own money into it. Elliot Fernandez, Doom Kicker, Andrew Huerta. Critias Detective Dead. Forget that one. You're not going to see Detective Dead. We know that's gone. Martina Marcota is late. I know why hers is late. Hers was late for it got tied up in court with the co-creator of the original attempted run. I know that Von Klaus is the writer on that one, and that he has finished it. And we're starting to actually see pages now. So Lady Alchemy may be the Lady Alchemy, I predict, is going to be the latest book that actually fulfills. But by that time, but we'll see. We'll see on that one. Lady Document is well documented. Lady Alchemy is well documented, and is definitely a cautionary tale about working with a partner who believes that they have the rights to your creation. See here. Okay, so here's 8 days ago. We do have comments, but they're not in the update section. So you got to make a comment. Your boy Myrtle says, "What's taking so long? Didn't the books arrive in August?" Fatal J says, "All books are almost shipped. If you haven't received yours yet, trust me, you will soon. Thanks for the support." Hey, Jay, didn't get mine. I'm still waiting. I'm still standing. And I said I was going to open these in new columns, and I didn't. I lie to myself like that a lot. So let's see if we can't get back to here. Monster MD, no questions there. We got that right. Everybody's satisfied with that. What's the change? Former Marvel writer and CG proponent James Hudnall died. And his family is unable to refund the money or access the campaign. Slick Jimmy went to jail on federal child porn charges. Yeah, dead campaign. And I was in both of those campaigns. I'm not ashamed to say either one. Not going to get the money back. Just you gotta write it off. Siamese trade paperback. I got that. Beard Durker got it. Hammerella. Ryan, I love you, man. Let's take a look at Hammerella. Find out what's going on here. New tab. See, I learned. I can keep up. Hammerella. Backed November 2020. That's 360 days ago. Was going to be delivered on March 2021. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, that's 8. That's officially 2 beyond the officially late cutoff. So Ryan, you're late, man. We'll see the updates. Let's check those things. See if there's anything in that updates. Good. Now look at this. Updates 27. Lots of updates. That means something. And look, and it's a November update. So he's talking about more battle art, Merch Madness, some real life events set us back. Okay, that happens. Getting everything organized. Look, there's layout of stuff, product finished, pages done. Okay, so this is all merch. Everything could be ready to go when the book is done, which means the book is not done. Which that's the main thing. But damn, the merch does look cool. So we will, keep updating us, Ryan. Let us know what's going on, because I want my book. I backed the book. You said they keep bringing that guy up. You don't know who it is. You don't need to know who it is. If you're talking about Jimmy, don't worry about that. Not a topic to show anymore. Joe King saving everyone again for the first time. Estimated delivery December 2021. I can almost guarantee that that is going to fulfill at the end of December 2021. Is probably going to ship early January. I know this because I'm shipping it. Okay, so I'm in contact with this campaign. The pages are being done, and George Peter Gatsis is using our facility to ship things out. Pirate Queen, done. Got it. Thank you. On to page 4. We will run into some rather late books here, by the way. Star Circuit, speaking of. Let's see what the updates are on this, because it was estimated to be delivered in June. This is Joe Catapano's book. And yeah, fulfilled in April, gave a 3-month window to fulfill. July, August, September, October, November. It's 5, almost officially late in our book, but not quite yet. Updates 15, not bad. Latest update November 18th. Look at this. So this is the way you do it, folks. Joe's got it just right here. The books are printed. They look fantastic and ready for fulfillment. So, boom. These should start going out. He doesn't say when they're going to go out, but let's face it, he's got to put them together. How many units did he sell here? That's 363 backers. That's a good week of packing books. If you've got a day job and you've got other things you have to do. So I would say that, 7 days, he's probably shipping them out the end of this month, 1st of December. I would not, well, no, if he's sending them media, then do it. I was going to say if he sends them first class or something like that, I wouldn't hold it against them to wait until December 27th to ship, simply because post office is going to reduce rates. And, if you can ship cheaper, ship cheaper. That's what we're all about. So I would expect a lot of people might be waiting until the temporary price hike at the U.S. Post Office is out of the way. Kill Journal. I have to breathe for this one because I backed that one, and I believe the last I heard was that it's this is one of those. I'm on a boat and I'm waiting to come into the States. This was fulfilled last December. Look at this. It's already blacked out. I need to hit the continue reading button. It was due to be here in April. I ordered the leather-bound the hardcover. So that's what I'm waiting on. 26 updates. So that's good. Recent update, November 19th. So again, recent updates, good sign. And as I said, the books are crawling across the water. So Adam is letting us know the books are done. Some people have gotten some of their, the masks have gone out. The digital stories have gone out, but these hardcover faux leather bound looking copies printed in China. You know what happens when you print in the U.S. Your books don't end up on a boat. They get here. They might end up on a UPS truck, and you might lose a couple of them. But they will stay in the U.S. and so will your money for a little while longer until UPS sends it over there. So that's there. Glenn in Monsterland. Not late anymore. No, not late at all. It was estimated delivery December 2021. It was estimated next month. I just checked this afternoon, and we just achieved 100% delivery. Everybody who ordered the book has the book. That was another one that we fulfilled for them. So that's done. The Indie Volt Sequential Art Collection, got that a long time ago on the date promised. Cluster Fudge, got it on the date promised. That was the first one. Let's move to the next one. Next page. El Crudo 4, Far Out. Actually, it was El Crudo 1 through 4 that I ordered and got them all. Arachna, The Adventure Begins. Estimated delivery date, October 2021. I have it. I think it actually came early November, but that's not even approaching late in my book if I get it the next month. The Abductables 2, Reticulous. I feel like it's late, but if we're being honest, the estimated delivery is January 2022, so not even late yet. It's just taken a really long time. X-Parse Reloaded, June of 2021. I got it. Thank you, Don Chin. The Company Men, Dead, White, and Blue. Estimated delivery, December 2021. That's next month. And that's my client. So we will be fulfilling that one. If we get it in December, you will get it in December. Again, you might get it in January because, again, this is the whole, they spike the prices for Christmas. Yeah, Hicksville, that would be great if Indiegogo had a checkoff list like Kickstarter does. I mean, this thing here, I'm getting like 7 on a page or fewer. That's I'd like to just say, scroll them all down. Let's go down one at a time. Anyway, The Company Men, Dead, White, and Blue, great looking book. Not due till next month, so if you get it in January, I still say it's not late. But we don't sit on campaigns here. When we have all the books in place, we're ready to go. We have all the extras right now for Red Eyes #2, all the art, all the prints. We just don't have the books. So if you're waiting for Red Eyes 2, so are we. Rabbi from Another Planet, estimated delivery September. Actual delivery was October. We fulfilled. Everyone got it. 100% delivery rate on that one. The Rascals, book 2, fulfilled ages and ages ago, both of them. Confederate Monster. Let's take a look here, because that I think we're going to say is not fulfilled yet. Because I know it's not fulfilled yet. Estimated delivery is July of 2021. This is one of those ones where it seems like the extras were taking things and taking time away. We've seen campaigns like that. Yes, USPS is the devil. I have seen them take books. I've actually had to replace one shipment now that was damaged in not in packaging, but in delivery. Everyone else got theirs just fine. One person got their package baptized in motor oil and then thrown into a clear plastic bag by the U.S. Postal Service, tied up and delivered that way, saying, well, we got it to you. Don't know how that happened. But literally it was soaked and the prints inside were ruined. The good news is that, not that we wouldn't have replaced them anyway, but the books were in perfect condition because the books were in a Gemini and the Gemini was in a poly mailer that was fully sealed. So all the oil was kept out. The prints, on the other hand, had to be replaced, and we had replacement prints. So we were glad to send out a copy of those. Fulfilled on March 11th of this past year, due on July. So August, September, October, November, 4 months, not late, but nervous. See, here's the thing. Yeah, you got your book clearly marked "Do Not Bend," bent almost double in the mailbox. Here's the thing. Don't put anything on the package to give the post office ideas. Okay? Especially, it's media mail. You're perfectly legally allowed to send it as media mail because it does not conform to the rules where they say comic books are not media. These are graphic novels, even if they're 20 pages, because you don't have advertisements. Yes, they have the right to open them up and inspect them. And yes, that has happened. Don't make it easy. Don't write on the package comic book, where you have the rubber stamp if you're printing out labels and you say, comic book, this issue number. Don't do that. Don't give any indication that this is a comic book of any kind. Secondly, package it tight. One of the things I like, poly mailers is not an option any longer for our customers. Printed is the option, but everything is going to go in a poly bag. And those things tear. You don't tape them shut, and so you can take a slicer and open it up and then close it back up again. No, there's no easy way to get into a poly bag and then put it back together. Don't make it easy for them to do that. And then everything will go. So far, I've had no rejections. Nothing has come back. I wouldn't expect I'd fight it anyway because, again, you're still legally allowed to do it, but don't make it something that's going to make them go out of their way to inspect the package. If they get the thing and they're like, I wonder if this is media, damn, this is going to be hard to get into, inspect another package. That's what you want to happen. Let them make somebody else's book their problem, or let them take their problem to somebody else. So 17 updates. Yeah, that's a decent amount. And the fact that, look at this, the update is yesterday. That's the thing to have. Okay, so everybody who ordered, the digital copies are ready. You can download here. I do remember getting this email, and I was like, I'm not going to download the digital copies because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to read the physical copy. There is, see, this is what's delaying it. The vendor for the vinyl soundtrack. So that's delaying that. But the fulfillment on the books, okay, the first batch of packages will be going out next week. Yay. So a July date, August, September, October, November. You were nervously approaching that late area. You succeeded. I count that as a success. 4 months beyond estimate is nearly late, but not actually late. No, you got yours damaged as well. Undead Border. Yeah, the Gemini mailers are. I swear by them. I always try to put something in a Gemini mailer. If they've been to Gemini mailer, they tried. That was not a curl it gently and slip it in the mailbox. That's a fold that sucker with a hammer and crowbar. With a telepathic bunny says the Lucent came from Australia, the best packaging I've ever seen. It was like Fort Knox. Mel B is a genius. Well, yeah, everybody knows that. And getting mail from Australia is not the problem. It's getting mail into Australia that is somehow the issue. So she used a press and seal important document cardboard, not a blemish or a fold. Okay. I did not get the Lucent because it was at a time when I was not buying. I know it looks like I bought a lot of books. I go through spurts, and the Lucent was outside of one of my flush times, let's say. Doc Salem Monster Hunter, I got it. We won't have to talk about that one. Next page here, we'll have X-Sparks Reloaded. Everybody got that. Trash Compactor Show Socks. I thought that was funny. I had my socks, lost my socks, don't have socks anymore. The Ghetto Dragon, Book 1, got it. So that one fulfilled. Oh, let's take a look at Peregrine Wings of the Falcon. Because this one has gone through more than its share of cluster you-know-whats in getting to become a book. This was backed on June of 2020. 2020. And it had a fulfillment estimated date of April 2021. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 7 months. That's officially late. So for that, we need updates. 14 updates. Not a great number, but the last update is recent, and the last update shows boxes of books in boxes marked U.S. Postal Service. So they're on their way. Waiting for mine. Be glad to get it. I'm going to do that too, by the way, Telepathic Bunny. I'm going to go to CG now, which is a brilliant concept to get books done. Have I looked at the comics for Brand 2, Way of the Gun by Antonio Bryce and scrolled through them on IGG? It relates to good communication. No, I haven't. I haven't looked at Brand. Funny story. Brand was the first Comicsgate book that we reviewed on our website, criticalblast.com. Antonio didn't like it and kicked off a video of decent length rebutting it, which I was like, okay, fine, do that. And I was like, okay, I guess I learned my lesson about critiquing Comicsgate books. Shortly after that, I was reached out to by Von Klaus, and he asked if I wanted to review Monster MD, and I pointed into this. I'm like, are you sure? Because this is what happened last time. And he's like, yeah, it's because of that we want you to do it. Because if you actually say you like it, we'll know you mean it, which is true. We honestly review anything we read. Nothing is shill. Even the books that we get gratis, we get PDFs from Dynamite. That we review those, and if we don't like them, we tell you we don't like them. So this is good. I'll be looking for this to come. I'm not crazy about what I'm seeing here, because if you look at these Geminis, they're not sealed at the tops and bottoms, so they're just kind of held closed, which means that some moisture resistance comes from the cardboard itself. I mean, you have to really soak it to get through them to the other side. But when they're open at the top like this, that's not great. That's another reason why ours is in the bag, and the bag protects it all the way. You've seen the bags. If you're looking, let me get myself full screen here for just a moment. Okay, yeah. those are the bags. We've got them on the wall there as we've fulfilled campaigns. Whenever a campaign finishes fulfilling, we take one of the extra bags and we throw it up on the wall as sort of a trophy reminder. Not everybody has used the bag, so we have fulfilled more than 4 campaigns. I'm not going to put a blank bag up there for the ones that didn't get the printed bag. We've got, another one that's going to be fulfilling real soon. Get excited, folks. The embrace is coming. So that is over here. I've got the bags ready for that. I have the bags ready for Red Eyes number 2. So yeah, I love that Rabbi bag as well. I've told Rabbi's V that I thought I nicknamed the character. Apparently he was already nicknamed. I said, that's not just an extraterrestrial biological entity or an EBE. It's a Hasidic extraterrestrial biological entity. So it's a Heb. I started nicknaming him Heb, to which Rabbi's V said, no, it's Hebe. That's been his name for a while. So I did not invent anything at all. Now, that's not how I wanted that to be. Hey, that'll work. Cool. I forgot. Pip is a thing now. Okay, so I will watch for my Peregrine. I have not received any emails that say, hey, your shipment of Peregrine is on the way. Here's the tracking number, which if you use Pirate Ship to send all your labels out, they do that for you. It works real well with the CSVs from Kickstarter and Indiegogo, so use them. Magnificent 7, that was almost a buy it now kind of thing because they were done. In fact, I did it twice. Trash Compactor Koozies, got them. Rascals, Song of the Banshee, Artist Edition, got it. Sonia Devereaux, exclusive graphic novel, got it. Can't recommend that series enough, if you just like fun comics and funny humor. Fairy Quest. I need a beer for this one. Fairy Quest. Paul Jenkins, who knows something about making comics. And is doing this out of Atlanta. So this had 109 backers, made $7,769. Finished on October the 18th last year. And it was set for, it's kind of grayed out here, you really can't see it, but it was set to be delivered last January. This is very much an underestimation of what it was going to take to get something done. Yeah, Fairy Quest is beyond late. Fairy Quest is 11 months past its estimated ship date. Yeah, funny humor is the best humor. And that's not an oxymoron of any kind, or the opposite of an oxymoron. What do you call it when 2 words actually agree with each other? Redundancy. Because, there's gallows humor and there's naughty humor. Actually, Sonia is full of naughty. We'll go with the naughty humor because, it's replete with that. You'll love it. This is gorgeously printed. I love the artwork. I want to read the story. There are 7 updates. That's not even one a month. Paul, come on. The last update was October 7th. Last month, that's almost 2 months ago now, because that was the early October. We're at the end of November. A week on it is 2 months. So sorry about the pace. Off to the printers. Off to the printers. You're just now getting to the printers. Okay. Finally at the printers. The pandemic and having one of our printers located in China. Stop using China to print. Stop. We have printers here. It's a big country. A lot of businesses. You're passing the cost on to the customer anyway. We will pay for US to print. To thank everyone for your patience and support, we will be including an extra gift in every book. Is it going to take longer to create the extra gift now? Check out a few sneak peeks below, and there's some pages to make you see what it is you're not reading yet. Anyway, at the printers as of October, and we don't have it yet. And we don't have anything here that says, hey, guess what? We've started shipping. So you're not going to see Fairy Quest. I'll put money on it. You're not going to see Fairy Quest before the end of February. So nothing before February. Damn it, I didn't go to a new tab. Okay. Page 9. Roll it. Oh, I didn't roll. Okay. Come on, load it up. Florida Man graphic novel, volume 1. Got it. That would be a grave mistake, Telepathic Bunny. Vestry number 1. Got it. Battle Brick Road. We need to talk about Battle Brick Road because this one is one of those ones where they get you on a legal technicality. Okay, let's take a look at Battle Brick Road in a new tab here and just see what it is we're talking about. Battle Brick Road. Come on, let's get all the hamsters running at once. This thing closed on July. Well, it got funded on July 8th, 2020. It closed several $1,000s later. Great, $89,000. Great for them. Beautiful looking artwork. Can't wait to read it. When is it going to deliver? Amazingly enough, Indiegogo allows you to not say. When is it going to be delivered? When you get it. I mean, so technically, it can come 10 years from now. Is it late? Nope. It's not late because we didn't set a deadline. Honest to Murgatroyd. That's insane. I hope that was a bug that existed at Indiegogo at the time, and they decided that it just got past them. That is unconscionable that you would do a project without a date. 22 updates. Is it recent? Yeah, it's recent, like a couple of days ago. So that's something. First and foremost, we're still waiting for the final colors to come in. They're not going to the printers yet. They're still coloring the pages. So close to printing the books, we're starting to ship out original art. Okay, that's great. The 24 by 36 posters, those are huge. If you've backed either of those, or you're a Citizen of Oz, either of those, or a Citizen of Oz tier, so a tier where the artwork is coming, your artwork is on the way. People got something. We will also be shipping the campaign exclusive t-shirts. That's great. If you want to back at the $250 superfan level, of course, why wouldn't I want to do that when you're not even done coloring the pages yet? Of course, I want to send you $250. We'll be closing the perk down on November 30th. In the meantime, there's been a lot of meantime. A lot of meantime. All the extras are coming in, and they're being packed in their bags. We're in the home stretch. I think the distance from third base to home plate is actually, you can play football on that line. It's a long home stretch. I mean, let's assume that, July 8th, we've seen the averages, like every time they close one, roughly 3 months later, we expect you to have your book. So we could say August, September, October, and then I would officially declare this as a year late, or 6 months late, because I give it 6 months before I start saying it's late, and then I start counting late after that. So 12 months past an assumed promise date, 6 months later than what you would really expect to get it at. So yeah. Do something, guys. you really need to do this. Yes, and Eric is literally lettering 90% of the comics in CG, so that's fine. I don't know how much time it takes to letter a book. I know it's got to be done very meticulously. I can't imagine it's the same amount of time it takes to draw a page, because you kind of get into a rhythm. You've only got 26 different characters that you can draw. So, and James has even more. Ben Jones, Asgard Chapter 1, Crystal McGee, The Good Night. I remember The Good Night. 2018, I was seeing pages of The Good Knight. I have not seen anything about The Good Knight. I've not seen any streams. I've not seen Crystal show up anywhere. I don't know if, she just left the scene. What happened there? A.P. Anderson's The Knox, James Dean Anderson's Conflict, Claws Out, Chuck Dixon and Ben H. Jungle Comics. Is that late? I thought I had that one. No, I've got, I had Ravage, All Men Must Die. So, RJ, do these projects inform potential backers' estimates and graphs, or aren't those popular, either in updates or in the campaign descriptions? I've not seen anything in the way of graphs. I think one person tried to do something like a graph to show, but most people aren't, following PowerPoint sheets or Gantt charts or anything like that. I think if you just use the update function that the campaign, the crowdfund platform gives you, tell your phone, pick it up and say, hey, whatever the name of your phone is, remind me every other Wednesday to put an update on the campaign, to let people know where I am, where it's at, what's going on. So yeah, just to say things still proceed at pace. Even if you say nothing's changed so far, we'll let you know. That's fine. Lets us know that you're still looking at it, that you still care. If you were on the CG Kings, then you're good being a year late. Yep, I said it. Yeah, well, you're good being a year late. Hell, you're good going for a cash grab that's 2 years late, I would say. Yeah, I said that. All right. Another one that I'm really looking forward to. And it's late. This is the Billy Tucci, and this is Dynamite's really got to work on the titles of their campaigns because they turn them into headlines and they don't really well. Billy Tucci and Maria Sanato bring back Mystery. This one has been late because they lost the artist. I don't know why. I'm sure there's all kinds of backroom discussion and rumors and such, but Maria pulled out, so to speak. She's not on it. But look at this, though. There's 53 updates. 53 updates. So something that we were expecting to be fulfilled on February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Now we're late. September, October. We're into the 3-month late range now. They got 53 updates, and the last one was this month, and they're telling us the novel is complete. So a lot of steps. Look at this. November, October. See more updates, but regular updates. Particularly Good Friday. Just saw the pre-printing proofs for the novel. The book is complete at last. Coordinating with the printer. Please tell me it's in America. As soon as it's at the press, and they can supply a timeline for its completion, because here's the thing: presses are backed up. The paper shortage has been screwing with everybody. So that there are things that are out of our control right now that you could not have learned as a lesson from a previous crowdfund. Supply lines are jacked up. So unless you're like, living in your studio next door to your printing plant, and you have trucks that deliver, you still are at the mercy of other businesses. I was going to back Ms. Fury close to fulfillment, but now that Maria is gone and the Dynamite drama, I'm not sure what I wanted anymore. Yeah, I really like Maria. I like Billy's artwork too, and I know that Billy stepped in to do another story for it. So we're getting a little bit more than I'm getting a little bit more than I initially backed for. I'll say it that way. If you back it now, you're getting exactly what you're backing it for. So it's going to press. Again, given what, things are backed up, I would not expect this one until, did I just screw? No, I forget what year it is. I would not expect this until February 2022. So, possibly even at the end of it, because we got things backed up. I will give it till end of February 2022. That's when you're going to see this. It will be officially 6 months late, according to the Critical Blast scale of measuring late books. Yeah, Billy's been able to do a she-book during all of this time. So, but in his defense, the she-book was all done, wasn't it? It was just being sort of remastered. And yeah, there was a lot of Dynamite crap. All the Dynamite crap was what? Because somebody didn't want them doing a book with Cecil. They pulled out of the Cecil book or the Cecil cover, all of which was ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Another case for the Littlest Umbrella. Backed it, got the print hanging right here on my wall, right over here. Love this. Great book, high quality, good story. Was really, really impressed with what I got from Tug and Company on that one. Because I'll be honest with you, I've gotten some books that were done by highly, highly touted talents, in quotes, in the CG community. And when I got them and read them, I was like, oh, okay, this is a fun story. This is great art. You can draw, you can create, you can't edit worth a crap. I mean, when I'm counting three misspellings per page, it's like at least listen a little bit to the little red underlines in your Word document when you're scripting this out. Because sometimes Microsoft knows what they're talking about. Yeah, that's it. I forgave a lot of that because the story concept. It was Doc Salem. It was Doc Salem. Great concept for a story. Obviously, Preston's artwork is perfect. Preston needs an editor. He needs somebody to proofread that thing who's going to catch all this spelling and all the homophones, not homophobes, homophones, words that sound alike but aren't the same meaning. Because it adds an entirely different structure to your story when you do that. Oh, bump, bump, bump. We are here. We are at the frog. Yes, I have a Android arachnid. Cyberfrog wrecked planet. Is it late? Maybe, kind of, sort of. It sure feels like it. I mean, it fulfilled on May of 2020, and then it continued from there. We got to hit the continue reading button because, okay, so he was given a year. Okay, so this was not a here's when we finished, and now that we're closed, give us 3 months. This was a year. This was for the toys. Let's look at the book. No, everything, whether it was the toys or the book, May of 2021. That's when this one was, quote unquote, kind of sort of due, soft due. So going with my sliding, 6-month scale, which again, I adopted from Amazon. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Ding, 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 ding. It's late. Officially late as of now. And it's going to be later because we're still seeing pages drawn. So, but the thing is, now that it has crossed the official late line, people are actually saying, you're late. Yes, toy looks great. Cool hats. Funny show. Where's my book? Where is my book? Where is my froggy book? Yeah, I mean, people complaining about late books don't just apply to roosters. They apply to frogs as well. So now, of course, there's updates on the campaign. There's an update this month. And of course, and naturally, Ethan's updating people about the thing all the time, even if he's just saying it's going to be great. Niobe, where is your link? I don't have one for you here because I'm going to pick up Exciting Comics. That's what I'm picking up. I'm going to get it through there. I'm going to get it in a store because I think it's just going to be cool to say, hey, I know this guy. Well, Rob Willis is still working on SS. Yeah, and you know what? Shinobi. There was a Shinobi Sasquatch story in the Monster MD book, and it was good. It came with it. I was like, this is a good story. So, yeah, Shinobi Sasquatch. I didn't back it, so I can't show that one late. By all means, people put in the chat if you backed a book, and if you would please, if you want to talk about it being late, put in what it is, when it funded, when they said it was due, and then we'll do the math on that. So not late. Oh, no link, so you can bitch about late books. Well, yeah. Your books haven't been late though that I'm aware of. I believe you have fulfilled, Niobe, Larry. I just wish EVS planned ahead better, but it's not like he's vanishing like some creators. I agree completely. He's not disappeared, and he's faced the heat, face on. He had I can't remember the guy's name, but it was on his chat yesterday, face-to-face discussion about the whole, if you'd have done a page a week, blah blah blah, you'd have had 52 pages done in a year. This thing would have been done. Yeah, and quite honestly, he's right. But we know that there were toys to be made. There were salamander toys and frog toys and Heather Swain toys. There was an unforgettable thing where you took the existing books and you packaged that back up. There were other projects that got campaigned and crowdfunded here. Now, I don't know if Indiegogo and Kickstarter put together these new rules about crowdfunding things. I don't know if that will continue. Myself, I don't see a problem with somebody running multiple campaigns at the same time. I don't. If they're showing that they deliver. I mean, if you just have one campaign running at any one time, you're not ever going to make any money because you can't expand. DC didn't just print Action Comics every month. Marvel didn't just print Amazing Fantasy every month. You had to have other things done. And, they had other writers, but they had a lot of books that were written by the same writer, drawn by the same artists. And there are no excuses in his case. I'm not excusing him. I'm not saying he's got an excuse because he did these things. I'm saying he did these things and they slowed him down. I think that Ethan is easily distracted by shiny object sorts of campaigns. I think if somebody were to say, hey, look, we can do, jade carved cyberfrog with diamond encrusted, cyber attachments, and we can do it for this cost and you can get it to you. I think he would be on that immediately and there'd be a new campaign and then this will get even later. My opinion, it's an opinion. I don't know the man. I only know the persona. So I'm just saying that I think that's what would happen. Final estimation on this one. It's late, Ethan. We want our frog book. I backed the first frog book. I'll back the next frog book, but damn it, I want them. Everglade Angels, got it. Pillowman and Blanket Boy didn't get it. See, it was refunded. It was refunded because they didn't match the goal at that point. And then I didn't get in on the follow-ups because, ups and downs. And Cyberfrog, Blood Honey, team-up cover, not there. Little Girl Lethal, we've discussed that one, not going to happen. That's $25 down the drain. I'm not going to cry about it. And finally, Jawbreakers, Lost Souls graphic novel. Backed it, got it. So those are mine. The IGG new thing is that you have to show your business plan. So you can't just say it costs $500 to produce $100,000 worth of tech garbage. Yeah, I saw a lot of people freak out about the IGG plan and say, oh my God, our comics, no more schemes and scams kind of thing. And honestly, that was the panic of people who use IGG to make comic books and see it as a comic book publisher. If anybody at at IGG had seen that discussion, the first response would be, do we make comics? Oh, we fund comics too, don't we? Because, they're looking at the solar powered lawnmower robot that, does stuff. They're looking at the health armband that monitors your blood pressure and gives you a glucose boost at the same time. That kind of stuff. The real high tech, heavy investment kind of make it happen kind of thing. They ain't looking at your funny books. They're just not. Even Kickstarter, which has a division strictly for that, they're not looking at it. They've got bigger fish to fry, and they couldn't care less about your comics. The request for update was to see how much was completed on Shinobi. Yeah, and nothing said at all about the completion. You know what is? I didn't back Shinobi, but I have the screen up here. Let's type in a little search. Shinobi. Funding. It's still in a funding status. It has made $83,655 through 1,632 backers. I will share that screen back up here. So that you all can see it. It finished funding on June 1st, 2019. That almost feels like the last century now. It was in the last decade, the prior decade. Now look at this. Okay, so Indiegogo does allow you to re-estimate. And the original estimate on this was, August 2020. The current estimate is June 2022. That's half a year out. What the fuck happened? Were you in a coma? That's okay. We'll forgive that. So November 10th, 2021. Greetings, very, very long update here. TLDR. I have been honest with you all that I don't send updates unless I have something new to show and or tell you. That has been your problem, Cal. That's been the biggest part of your problem. Give an update even if there's nothing to show. Because here's the thing. If you have an update to come out there and say, I have nothing to show, that doesn't just tell your customers that you've done nothing further. That tells you you've done nothing further. And you get a couple of those down, you're going to get sick of doing nothing, and you're going to do something so that you have something in your update to tell people. And if you start doing something so you have an update to tell people, you're going to get a book done. It's amazing. It's like magic. So I'm sorry. I went off on him there, and I have no reason to because I don't know him. I just based it off of what I read there. So I don't know everything about the Shinobi Sasquatch book. I know that it's like one of the most notoriously late ones. It late on printing. We get that when that happens all the time. The writer of Shinobi's not a happy man. Rob abandoned the project and did Malin. So Rob Willis was on it and John Malin was on it. Cal is the writer. So if Cal has been made bereft of artists and has had to have the whole thing redrawn, get it, got it. You picked bad partners. Say that in the updates. Say 2 weeks later, still have not found a decent artist to pick this up. Say 2 weeks later, looked at 3 other artists, not happy with their styles. Say 3 weeks after that, found an artist, he's turning in roughs. Do that. So no, I don't have the link this time. This is not an open mic thing. I didn't make it an open mic. You know what? Why not? I'm not the only person who's backed books that are late. You've backed books that are late. You've all backed books that are late. There. Tell us about your late books. Come on. Come to RJ. Bring your burdens to the altar of comics books, of Comicsgate here. Bring your burdens and I will make them light, or at least I will commiserate with you that that yeah, we all have late books. There they are. Don't be afraid, brothers and sisters. Come to the live stream. Come to the live stream of comics. Come to the live stream of complaints. Yes, we can do this. Oh, no. I will not let that happen, Telepathic Bunny. and you're welcome to come on here too as well, because you come on. If you come on, somebody will start talking about it. Because I've seen you go on about books before as well. And Niobe, where are you? You wanted the link. I just put it in the chat. It's right there. Look, anybody can click on this. You don't have to have your list ready. We can, I can wait for you to go through your backer lists, and tell me what you're late on. Tell me what you're unhappy with. Tell me if you think that I'm wrong for allowing a 6-month leeway slide. Again, that was just, I based that off of what Kickstarter said. Niobe, Larry, hey there, man.
Where's my link?
What link are you wanting?
Oh, like a link from Legend of Zelda, man.
Oh, no.
Giving out links like the way Oprah gives out cars.
I threw it out into the chat here, man. You know what happens when I do that.
Look, why does Comicsgate have a problem with late books? Question mark.
Because comic funding in general has a problem with late books.
No, it doesn't. No,
it does.
No, it doesn't. I'll debate that to you to the end of time, man.
Okay.
I have backed over 100 Kickstarters. Only one have I never not received. Okay, every one of them I've gotten, and usually on time. But when it comes to Indiegogo and these fucking Comicsgate books, I backed 7 or 8 and gotten half of them. Why is Comicsgate always late? Why can't Comicsgate get their fucking shit together?
Well, first of all, they're not a group.
They are a group.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. It's a fucking movement, dude. Come on, man.
That doesn't mean anything. They don't work together.
No,
they don't all
work
go
together,
to the same office.
They are a collective network.
Well, then you might as well say that crowdfunding comics as a total is a collective network.
Yeah, but we don't acknowledge Comicsgate.
Well, okay.
And so the collective that I'm part of is generally on time, right? You back any book on Kickstarter, like a Max DeVille, like a fucking Niobe, okay, like a Common America. You back any of these non-CG books, you're going to get them. I don't understand why that these guys who roll in from CG thinking they're going to make big bucks, usually first-time comic book creators, can't get their fucking shit together. If I can do it up here alone in fucking Canada, so can the rest of these fucking guys. But you know what? They misspend their money. They don't fucking gauge shipping right. They fucking think they're rich. They're bad with money. They walk away. They take 2 years to put out a book. Come on, man.
I have a question for you and for the whole chat.
I'm waiting.
Did everybody get their copy of Midnight Harvest?
Don't even know what the fuck that is, dude.
That's a comic book that was done by Richard Pace. It hasn't been delivered since 2014.
I'm not saying there isn't any at all, but I'm saying there's a lot more on Comicsgate side than there is on the other side, dude. A lot.
And I would argue that there's a lot more spotlight on the books that are late on Comicsgate.
The only reason why you see that is because you're in those circles, dude. I'm in different circles, right?
Well, I'm in all the circles. You know that. I cover it all.
Not really. No, you're not, because I don't see you in the Facebook groups. I don't see you communicating.
Because I don't get in Facebook groups.
Then you can't tell me you're in everything, because you're not.
No, but I can see what's on Indiegogo and what's on Kickstarter.
Sure, but you don't know the ins and outs. You're not talking with these creators like the way that I do. Okay. So you don't have the complete education, is what I'm telling you.
Well, okay, what do I need to know about producing a comic book?
You need to know that, fuck, man, you need to spend your money wisely. And these people don't know how to do that. They misjudge how much it costs for printing. They misjudge how much it costs for shipping, okay?
Yeah.
They don't know how to micromanage. They all think that they're going to get famous. They all think they're going to get rich. And that's why a lot of these guys are here for a cup of coffee and they're gone. You know what I mean?
I have a problem with any statement that begins with "they all," because
Not
that's
me.
an absolute statement. I think, and I said early on in the stream, I don't know if you came in then and you started talking later, but early on in the stream, it's like, first time out, I expect them to fuck up because they don't know what they're doing.
Listen, there's enough resources out there that no one should be fucking up at this point. You know what? When I started off in 2014, even then, with no one there to help me, no one doing videos on crowdfunding, I still managed to pull it off, RJ. There's no excuse.
On time?
On time.
Well, that's good. You put the effort into studying.
I have
to learn by doing.
sympathy for people that can't uphold their end of the bargain. Zero. None.
Well, comics aren't the only thing that are late on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. That's why they have policies on, what constitutes late. And a lot of these people are...
Look, I've also heard the argument, because I watched Dean and Vicky talk about this. They're like,
I disagree with them.
I don't. Bigger campaigns take longer to fulfill. That's true, but you also have more money and more resources to fulfill those campaigns, and you should be using that money wisely. Hire a few friends, man. Pack up some books. Get that shit moving. No excuse.
Yeah, bigger campaigns and longer to fulfill. That's the last thing I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the stuff that I pulled up here. They're like, and we're finally getting the pages colored, and it's a year later. Yeah. That's completely unforgivable.
Of completion time, right? Here's the rule of thumb with every Niobe book we do. Whatever I think it's going to take, I tack on 2 or 3 months. Why? Because I know there's going to be delays, right? And I know just through experience how long these delays usually last and when shit gets turned around. For Van Sciver to be 2 years late is an atrocity. I've watched several videos just today alone where people were bitching about late books. You just happen to be like number 4 or 5 of them now, okay?
Yeah.
And they all come back to Cyberfrog. They all come back to Richard C. Meyer. They all come back to Red Rooster. They all come back to Detective Dead. They all come back to Stealing.
Detective Dead's not late. It's dead.
Yeah, I know. Why? I'm also lumping in books that will never fulfill at all in with the late shit because it's just as bad.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that there was so much forgiveness thrown Critias's way, as opposed to like a somebody charging somebody with fraud and putting say, hey, this is a class action here. You took money from lots of people, and you delivered nothing, Mr. Ponzi.
Now there's big speculation, of course, right? And the reason why this topic is coming up again is twofold. One, we're entering to a new year and people are wondering where the shit is. But 2 is because of the announcement that Indiegogo had made where they're going to have stricter policies on this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, but not on their lateness, I don't think. I didn't read anything about the lateness. You think so? Because I don't think they give a crap about the comics.
Well, when you're bringing in the kind of money that some of these cats are bringing in, I think that's been a big boon to Indiegogo when you're doing, 6-figure campaigns, 7-figure campaigns. That's quite a chunk of change. You expect that small pennies for Kickstarter,
which is a blip against tabletop and is a blip against the electronics.
Yeah, but you don't see that much stuff in that regard on Indiegogo. You see some of it, but most of it's on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's why, Van Sciver doing $1 million on Cyberfrog is a big deal to Indiegogo. I don't think they'll ever touch Van Sciver. Why? Because he brings in too much money, right? But I do think the smaller creators who go on Indiegogo that don't fulfill and take a year fucking lollygagging probably will be their last trip there.
I think it should be. Like I said, if you're screwing up on your second book, if you're somebody who had to learn by doing, because you just can't take direction from people who've already been there, and you have to jump into the deep end of the pool and see if you can breathe or not. If you can't do it on your second book, you didn't learn anything, and you deserve to go down with the ship.
You brought up Little Girl Lethal. Now we all know why that book is late.
Oh yeah, that's never gonna happen.
It was late before Jimmy got arrested. Okay,
sure,
but I know the book was completed. You know why? Because I have it.
You have a physical copy, or you had the PDF?
No, I got the PDF. I
Yeah,
got the prototype, right? Because Jimmy had sent it to me before all this shit went down. So I know the book was done. It's just Jimmy was fiddling around with the fucking finer details of it. And then boom, he
was fiddling around with something.
Well, yeah, true enough, right? But
Yeah.
then he got arrested, and then that never came to fruition. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that book was done. All the art was done. Even the lettering was done. It's just he wanted to redo some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, Telepathic Bunny here says that a lot of creators are trying to have a completed comic in hand before they campaign. I know they are, and I know why they are, and I say that flies entirely in the face of the whole reason why Indiegogo exists. Indiegogo exists because people want to make something, know they could make something. They need seed money to get there. On top of their own money that they really need to kick in to get graphics to show what their project is going to be.
Well, that was generally the whole idea about crowdfunding in the first place, was that you needed the money to sort of put this thing together, right? And that's why Kickstarter doesn't have a flexible goal. If I was Indiegogo, I get rid of the fucking flexible goal altogether. Okay. The way that Kickstarter works is you put in an X amount that you need to make and fund this project, right? And get it out to the people. This is what you need to make it. This is what you need to distribute it. Okay.
Because that forces people to have a business plan.
Well, exactly. And here's the funds that you need. If you're $1 short on Kickstarter, you don't get none of it, because Kickstarter goes, we don't want to take a chance on you not fulfilling. You didn't make the pot that you need. Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to have to try your luck again some other time. Your idea just didn't fly, you know? But with Indiegogo, I can go flexible goal, meaning I get to keep whatever I want. So if I needed $5,000 to put out a book and I only get one, guess what's going to happen? You're probably unlikely ever to see that book. And that guy who just got the one is going to take his $1,000 and say goodbye. And that's fucking it, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure people have done that. A lot of people. I don't know. I've been lucky. I've gotten almost everything I've backed. And you said Ethan was 2 years late. That's hyperbole there, dude, because he's like 6 months late beyond. Okay. Again, I adjusted at the beginning of the video that I say that up to 6 months beyond estimated delivery is not late, because Kickstarter says expect things to be out as late as 6 months before they're released.
If I say something's coming out in February, it comes out in February.
Well, that's great, because you've done way more than one book now.
There's no 6 month leeway time here. Okay.
I'm just going with what Kickstarter
says. With that idea.
If Kickstarter says this is chapter and verse, then I'll go with what Kickstarter says. But if we don't go without it, then Cyberfrog is 1 year late. Wreck Planet, and I for my money, I think Ethan's starting to actually feel the heat on it now.
Of course, he is.
Because we're seeing progress videos. We're seeing him sitting down and the last 3 days in a row, it's been drawing a page. Like, hey, where was this for the last 6 months?
No, he's starting to crank it out, because what's going to happen? Is he going to be a year and a half late? Is he going to be an actual real 2 years late if he doesn't? Ethan's got an empire, and he's trying to run it like a one-man show. You know what I mean? He's got the toys. He's got the all caps
publishing other people's books.
Yeah. He's doing the all caps comics, Star Blazer, whatever it was called, man.
Fear Lantern. If you're talking about Niobe, he does have a book. It's called Niobe, and in fact, you can find his character Niobe in Antarctic Press. I said it right this time, Larry.
Yeah, you got it right, brother.
Exciting Comics number 17, which is in stores now, I believe, right?
December 8th.
December 8th. So very soon.
It got pushed back, because Antarctic Press and Diamond and the ransomware attack and all that sort of stuff. A lot of books that were shipping to Diamond end up just sitting in a warehouse for a while.
Yeah. Oh my God, that ransom. I worked at a company that had a ransomware attack done on it. And seeing as how I worked in the IT department, it was a lot of fun to deal with. But you know what? That just shows that Diamond had shitty IT practices, because we just said, okay, well, we're going to lose half a day's work because this thing came in at noon, and we're going to take the system offline. We're going to put on restore the backups we took last night before you clicked on this PDF thing that said it was from UPS, and it wasn't. And then we're going to get back up to running. And
I still think they're operating on the backup. I mean, if you go look at my book that's listed in Diamond, it's still saying that its release date was November 10th. November 10th is come and gone. You know what I mean? Like,
it's late, Larry. Your book is late.
That's not on me, though, right?
No, it's not.
I'm not the one producing and distributing that. That's an Antarctic Press Diamond distribution thing.
Yeah, and that's something else that I've they're great example of things that are beyond your control because you're working with other people. And you know, we talked about people who you can't print because the printers are delayed because there was a paper shortage. And I kind of castigated the people who decided to choose to print in China. And now
that's the first problem. You know, I called my printer, was it just last week, over the paper shortage thing, because I do plan to fulfill in February. And we're 3 pages done. 3 pages left to go, and we're done the book, dude. Right, so we're good to go. And so I called him up, and I'm like, dude, I'm Larry. I do Niobe, blah blah blah. And I said, listen, this paper shortage thing, is this going to affect me? Because I want to fulfill, early in the new year. And they're like, nope, we're good to go.
Oh, they like it.
So like people are using the paper shortage excuse. If you are dealing with China, well, sorry about your luck. But there are lots of printers in the U.S. who have plenty of paper and are ready to go.
I see no reason to print in China at all for any reason.
Well, it's also expensive because when they say printing in China, what they really mean is that they're using Print Ninja. Okay, Print Ninja is like the big company that does a lot of indie books, and a lot of people who are doing indie books were using Print Ninja for the longest time. But then they discovered that there was like Comics Wellspring and Mixum and a few other alternatives out there. But Print Ninja was basically it for a while.
Yeah, and an API is out there. Paper, but we have to protect the trees. No, we need to go to California and clear cut the whole thing. Not only will we have plenty of paper, but the fire problem next spring is solved.
Look, every time a late book happens, right? It does happen, and I don't.
Oh, it happens at the mainstream. I waited 6 months between issues of Watchmen.
I'm not going to hang someone over a book being a couple months late, right? But when you're talking a year plus, a year plus, you got to start looking at it hard. And there's been lots of books, man, on this side of the river that have been a year plus late. And I'm sure that if we did the homework, and you probably did it at the beginning of the show, where you were probably going over some of the books that were late. Like I only tuned in when I tuned in, right?
Yeah, so I only went over the ones that I backed myself because that gave me, that served as a checklist. Sure. There's plenty more. I keep hearing
Handyman. Brad Ashworth's Handyman. Where the fuck is that book? That was the ones I backed.
See, I'd never even heard of that one.
Yeah, well, that was another CG book, right?
Was it? I don't know that it's CG. I don't know the guy.
Well, I do. I was on streams with him plenty of times, and he took a lot of heat from was it a guy named Jesse, and then you had what's that British guy that sounds like fucking Captain Picard there? Fucking Jean-Luc, whatever.
Don't know.
You don't know any of these players? All right. Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you, though. There's a lot more happening than maybe that you even realize when it concerns these late books, right? There's no excuse. There's no excuse, man. These are guys who are trying to pretend and play in comics and have no idea how comic books work.
Yeah, I should probably see if I can't write some sort of a scraper to go to Indiegogo and their comics category and just scrape the data. And that way I don't have to rely on books that I'm only aware of because of what people talk about on streams, on what people are talking about on Twitter. And then I could have a full list because data is where I play. I could do a sort of a spreadsheet that shows, when it was finished, when it was promised, and what today is. And then we could really see something. Now, the only thing it won't tell me is whether or not it was a CG book. So, if somebody says they're CG or doesn't say they're CG, hell if I know.
Yeah, there's a chat like, so you bought a CG book, though you hate CG. I hate labels, right? I bought the book because I knew Brad, you know what I mean? And then someone's saying that Brad was anti-CG. Well, at that time, people could say that I was anti-CG, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I don't think Brad was anti-CG. I think Brad wanted to fit in. But Brad had Crypto Comics edit his fucking book. Right. And Crypto Comics was going through that war campaign at the time. And so because Crypto had edited Brad's book, that put Brad in a bad spotlight. That's what happened because I was there. I know.
That's the biggest thing that hurt all of this was that a movement to publish comics became a live action role play. With people tuning in to see, what's the drama. It became a fucking CW show.
Oh, I've always said that Comicsgate fucking broadcasting has been the best soap opera on the internet for like the last year or two.
Yeah.
It's like trash television. It's like watching Jerry Springer. You can't get enough of it. You know it's garbage, but you have to keep watching.
Yeah. And the thing is, you get involved with it because it's interactive. You can say something and have it suck you in as well. Yeah, I know there are people who are concerned about Fizz Chozo. I've talked with him on multiple occasions because, I think he genuinely wants to publish the book, but I don't think he's got a business plan that's viable yet.
Listen, we've had Fizz on the show.
Yeah.
Like I did an open call-in show and Fizz came in, right? Didn't know.
Yeah, he's been here too.
Didn't know who Fizz was, but Fizz shows us this like campaign that had like 3 images on it, none of which he owned. You know what I mean? And he's trying to sell us on this idea of a book. And I'm like, dude, you got absolutely nothing here. That's what I said to him. I said, I can't even promote this, share this, or talk about this because I said, you're using images that you don't own and you have no interior art. I said, you don't even have a cover. You got nothing, basically.
Yeah, that was way early days. He's got a cover now. He's got 2 covers. One of them's they're both actually good looking covers. It's slowly growing, but yeah, he definitely launched and relaunched both of them way too early. My suggestion to him was, get a lot more of this book done, maybe even all of it before you launch since you're a first campaigner. And his response, I think it was him that told me this. So if you didn't say this, Fizz, I apologize for putting the words in your mouth. But he's like, if I've already got the book done, why go to Indiegogo? Why don't I just sell it on Amazon? And make the money back from there. So, I was like, well, you got a point there, except that there's a crowd on Indiegogo that's looking to promote stuff. And I don't know that Amazon's got quite that same kind of avid fandom.
Amazon's a hard sell. And it's also, lots of steps and red tape that you have to go through to even be on there. It's a difficult and painful process just to even upload your stuff. You know what I mean?
Now this is, I'm also aware of this one. This is, Fiendish, the color version of Fiendish, because I've got the black and white. I got it. It's in my hands. But people decided at the last minute they wanted a color version, which delayed that. And Rini had sent it off to Mix'em and picked the spot gloss option on their website. Mm-hmm. That said, hey, I want spot gloss, click here. And only just this week got notice back from Mix'em, we don't do spot gloss.
Yeah, I heard this story. It's interesting. I mean, how can you advertise something and then, say you don't do it? Like that,
yeah, it's cost their time and money now. But
and they were someone we were going to use at one point, Mix'em. Like it was a toss up between Wellspring and Mix'em. And
I've got boxes around here that say Mix'em on the side because Mix'em has delivered directly to us books that we fulfilled for people. Mm-hmm.
Guys, my point is, if you're going to get into comic books and you're going to do this, understand that these take a long time to do, and don't say that you're going to fulfill on a date. And underestimate how long it's really going to take for you to get the project done, right? And I think that's the case in Ethan. I should have this done by X date, and he didn't. I think that was the case with a lot of books, Red Rooster included. You know what I mean? That they took a lot longer than they thought. I mean, this is where the advice comes back to, like you had mentioned a little earlier, about having your work completed before you even put it up. I mean, I don't necessarily think you need to do that. But I do think the more that you have done, the better it is for you. If you say that you got your book 75% done and we're just working on the last little bit and then you crowdfund, chances are that person is more likely to fulfill and more likely to fulfill on time.
Exactly. And that's great if you can do that. I'm sitting here looking at the original intent again, where you've got somebody who's got a story idea. The guy who lives next door to you, who's got no experience in comics whatsoever, wants to try this out, and says, "I wonder if I'd be able to sell this thing." And so he tries to raise money based on almost nothing but an idea. And I don't think you can really do it. I think you have to have maybe there's a measurable percentage of your own money that you have to start off with before you can get somebody to invest.
I'll tell you the Niobe secret. It's not even a secret. It is all my own money, right? I have poured all my own money into this. And then when we crowdfund, I take all the risk, right? Because it is all my finances. However, It's been a successful risk, and I've been able to pay myself back with the money that we make. And then I take that money that I made back, paying myself back on top of a little bit of extra profit, and then it all gets dumped back into the next book, and the cycle continues. That's right.
Well, speaking of somebody who knows how to create product and deliver, GeorgePeterGatzis.com.
Yeah. I've been listening to this conversation from the beginning, and I have to say, as a Comicsgate guy, I plan to fulfill my book based on the traditions of Comicsgate. You got to have Ziploc bags. You got to be late with your project. You got to
print it backwards.
You got to print it backwards. You got to spend more time doing live streams and then being behind.
Remember stealing Skull? They folded it up like a magazine and stuck your address on the back of it with a sticker.
You also
These
have
stories are fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, you also have to have a sheet of paper as your backing board for your books. You gotta stick to Comicsgate tradition.
If that's what you want. If that's what you want, as soon as your books arrive here, I will live stream every night with them stacked behind me, showing that they're here. And every night that stack won't go down because I want to show that they're here. And then when I do pack them, I'll bend each one. Okay.
Could you crease the corners of the pages as much as possible?
As much as possible.
But George is right on with a lot of things he just said. I mean, it goes beyond late books. It even goes on beyond like how these books are shipped when you actually do get them. How many stories have we heard of jacked up books, fucked up mangled boxes, fucking no protection, no Gemini mailers? You know, like the trail goes on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Glacier Mountain Comics. I have to tell you that my first radio was a Morse code machine. Okay.
Yes, you have a good stretch there, RJ.
You had a good message. Message had a good beat. You could dance to it. I give it a 6.
Yeah, man.
No. My first instruction manual were the 15 commandments. I accidentally dropped the last 5.
But George, have you back a lot of books, but I know you back a lot of PDFs.
Yeah, I don't know who the people are. They it looks like they have a great concept. I don't know if they're going to fulfill on time, but you know what? A PDF is cheap. You get the book. If it's good, then you back them on the next campaign when they have the next book. But they also have a catch up option where they say, get the last 2 or 3 physical copies with the latest copy. Which means what? It means that you get multiple books with one shipping cost.
Yes, it does. What experience have you got going right now with books that were late?
None of my
because of all PDFs.
Yeah, and everybody that I backed so far is not late. I backed Warts and All, not late. I backed Malin's 3 books. I forgot Malin's last book before the God King or Godlike or whatever it's called.
Right.
Not late. I got three slick books, one shipping cost. I backed. There's so many campaigns, so many first timer campaigns that the books are so slick. The artwork is so slick. The story is fantastic, but you don't know that until you actually get it in your hands.
And that's why I really like to scrape the data off of Indiegogo and see really what the percentage of late is, because I think that there's probably a lot of books out there that just don't get the mass attention and have been fulfilling on time, but they're not spotlighted the same way that somebody who's been a former
For
professional.
sure. There's always
Wait
gonna be
a minute. My first PDF wasn't Egyptian hieroglyphics. It was cave paintings. God damn it, get it right.
Well, look, there's always going to be those that fly underneath the radar, books you never heard of that are fucking phenomenal, that are doing their thing. You know, I'm sure there's lots of people that never heard of me, never heard of George. You know what I mean? And God love you. You know, but I'll tell you this, man. What really hurts is what George says. I don't back a first timer, and if I do, it's a PDF because I'm not sure if they're going to fulfill, right? And the reason why that happens is because half the time they're not fulfilling. So you go back a project. Let's say that this is your first. Like I got my buddy Rich sitting here. Let's say Rich is his first time back in a campaign, and he ends up waiting a year longer than he thought, or he never gets the book at all. What are the chances? What? Happen once. Okay. So what are the chances are then that he's going to be eager to go back someone else? What happens is when you fuck up like this, you just don't only fuck up for yourself, but you fuck it up for the rest of us.
Yeah. I brought this picture up. Hey, what do you think of this, man? Check this out. This was the Rabbi's campaign. We fulfilled this. One of the backers sent me this picture. This was in a plastic bag delivered by the post office. This thing had been baptized in motor oil.
Yeah, that's bad. By the way, my first book, digital, you know, it wasn't an ASCII. It was chipped on stone. God damn it! These guys they just don't get it. You can't even carbon date me because I'm older than carbon.
George is older than the calendar. You know what I mean?
Love you.
My
buddy loves you, George.
Listen, here's a list of books that I backed that I had no clue who these people are, and they're fantastic. Confederate Monster, fantastic work.
PDS just came out yesterday, right?
Yeah, LaFay, fantastic. Speed of Light, fantastic. Freaky Tales, fantastic. Dirty Work at the Crossroads, fantastic. Road Trip to Hell, Glyn, Glyn. What else? Mount Olympus. Carbon and Silicon. Shangri-La. The Wall. Crucifix Executioner. Beastlands. What else? Ruination. Miskatonic High.
Miskatonic High.
Yeah, Miskatonic High. These guys are what? Issue 14 now?
13 is coming. I just finished filling out my survey for it.
You just list off a list of books, and you're right, that I've never heard of before. None of them.
Yeah, and they're great. You can't get everything.
Yeah, but this guy's on issue 13. He's kicking it.
Delivers every 3 months.
You know, I was in a stream with him, and all I could do is just there was nothing I can complain about. I complain about everybody else on the stream, but when it came to him, he was rock solid. I said, "Well, you got to do trading." Well, I do it. Okay, well, you got to do Chosky. I'm doing it. Well, you got to pack your book. I'm doing it. By the end of every time I said, "Well, you got to do this," he goes, "I'm doing that too."
Yep. Mike Shea is on top of it.
He's rock solid, right across the board.
And because of that, every single book he puts on a campaign sells more than the book before it.
Yes, his numbers keep going up. Pray for the Sinner, Incantis, Biff Bam Boom Comics, American Dreams, Nasser. You know, what the hell? You know, Nasser's got how many books?
He's publishing.
Trixie Kane, Stardust, Secret Comics Presents. You know.
Oh, thank you for
when did I back him? I backed him when he had like 3 books ready to go.
Yeah, Nasser produces. That's one thing I can say, about Nasser. He produces.
Okay.
Here's the other
thing. Del Rose. Everybody knows Del Rose, Flying Sparks. Man. The whole enchilada. War Angels, Lost Ways, Warlash, Babylon Working, Destiny, Monolith, Star Runner. Oh my God, the 77.
We're not in this to late books conversation. If you are going to be late, then you at least need to update. Here's the problem with late books that what happens is that people don't tell their backers what's going on. They avoid them. They ghost them. They they disappear for months on end. And why do they do that? Because they got nothing to say. They don't want to come back and say, yeah, we don't have our shit done yet, right? They'd rather just leave them hanging than fess up and say, yeah, we're behind.
So, now, James Hayes here says, I'm not sure Comicsgate can survive as a marketing label outside of Ethan's core group because too many failures occur. I would contend that the failures are occurring within Ethan's core group and not so many are happening outside of it.
I would contend that,
and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just
no. Well, that's a tricky situation. You see, Ethan brings on people on his channel to help promote him, and these guys fuck up. Yeah. Is Ethan really responsible for that? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But you know
but you know, everyone says, "Oh, Ethan's the biggest in CG." Well, you know, he's got to take responsibility for what? For your fuck ups? Are you kidding me?
Well, he's basically, you know, the figurehead. If he's not the figurehead, he's one of them, right?
Yeah, he
does have the largest platform. And when you're on that show, it is always former comic book professionals that are on that show, right? That's who he caters to. That's who he promotes. As far as these smaller creators go in CG, if you're not getting the Ethan boon, you're not getting that Ethan rub, then you don't really need CG because you would do the exact same numbers on your own than you are with a hashtag. Plain and simple.
All right, I got to disagree because what you just said is basically like saying, well, Joe Biden's the president of the United States, and since you are an American, whatever Joe Biden does, you know, fooey on you too.
No, I'm saying if Ethan doesn't promote you, you're not going to get that extra money that's out there, right?
Yeah,
like, let's say if I was let's say I'm Comicsgate, Niobe would still do the same numbers that she would always have done with or without that label. The only way that would be any better is if Ethan had me on the show and gave me a platform to a much larger audience.
Possibly. I've been on the show. I've had that platform. I did not sell. So I'm just going to caveat that. By the way, thank you, Ethan. Still appreciate it. Always appreciate it. It came at a very good time for me.
Book to sell?
No, I had a book. Yeah, that's just it. I had a book, not a comic book. But the thing is also, Ethan's not responsible for people fucking up after they've been on his stream. But there's also that adage that the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. And there's, you know, this, and maybe it's not even overt as a thought, but I think there's a subconscious thought that says, I'm late, but you know what? So are these other guys, and people still follow them.
Okay, so what you're saying is, let me think about this. Someone runs the red light, and since they're doing it, you should be doing it too?
That happens. People run red lights all the time. Especially if you're following the guy and you're trying to stay on his bumper. Oh, he's going through the red light. I better floor it.
Yeah, I get it. You know, that's instinctively something
I think that because the higher names, the better known names are so regularly late. Boy, there's an oxymoron for you. That there's no example being set from on high that late is not an excuse.
Okay,
so they feel justified, or they feel at least mollified that, okay, I'm late. But...
Oh, come on, bring it into perspective. How long has Ethan and John Malin and Cecil and everyone else in his circle of been publishing?
Long time.
No. How long they've been publishing?
Self-publishing or publishing through a company?
No. See, publishing their own stuff.
Oh, 2 years.
You know, 2 years. So you know, they're drawing and they're doing the logistics. They're doing the business and all that stuff. You know, they're trying to figure all this stuff out. You keep hearing it all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, this is my first comic. You know, I'm figuring it all out, all that stuff, right? Okay, how long? What about all these other people that have been publishing 1 or 2 years, and they're fulfilling on time?
I've been doing it for 7.
Oh, you've been doing it for 7. Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
Since 2015, we're now 2021. I started in 2014. I've done 8 issues.
I've been doing it for 30 years, and I'm on issue 21. Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to say is that whether it's 30 years or 2 years or 1 year, right, or 6 months, it's not any. It's the difference is the information is available to you. You can figure it out before you move forward.
Oh, it's never been so easy to learn. I mean, think about all the resources you have now, George, as opposed to 30 years ago. You know?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep telling that. I keep telling that to everybody. It's like when I did it, when I started. My turnaround time and trying to figure out what's going on was 3 months. I do something. It will take about 3 months in terms of time to actually know what's going on, know what my communication is, whatever. See the results of my labor and whatever. That's the fastest. Now it's almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
I was literally shadow banned, or what do you call it, blocklist, or my business was interfered in the early 90s when Marvel and DC flooded the market because they were trying to flood the market because Image was destroying them. They were trying to.
Image broke Batman's back. Image killed Superman. That's why all those things happened, because they were trying to compete with Image Comics.
Exactly. And what did Marvel and DC do? They flooded the shelves, and you don't find out that your book is ordered or not. You don't find out if the advertisement you placed has been blocked. You don't find out that, oh, hey, you bought a cover for a particular distribution magazine and you only get three whole orders in that region. Are you kidding me? That's total bullshit. But you don't find this out until many months later, because communication back then was letters, and long distance phone calls that cost you an arm and a leg.
It's not wrong. We have
especially going over borders like you were having to do.
Yeah, and you literally have to do the old fashioned stuff. The way FedEx and UPS now is so polished and slick. And not as expensive as back then. You couldn't do special courier delivery services back then 30 years ago. Yeah. It would be cost prohibitive.
Jake, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, I've just been sitting in the background, just silently.
I've noticed
just getting immersed in the conversation as we speak.
Let me finish. Wait. Let me finish.
Let George finish.
I've gone on to Ethan's stream, and at every opportunity, I would try to tell people, you don't know how great you have it now compared to what it was then. It is great. The drama and all that stuff. Look away from it. Look around it. Move around it. Cover, whatever you want to call it. Forget the drama. Focus on the big picture. The drama is going to destroy your business. It will. You don't know it. If you think it's funny, you think it's great, you get eyeballs on you and all that stuff. No, that's total bullshit. On a personal level, having fun time, yeah, sure, the drama's great. But on a business level, you're going to be destroyed, because through your associations, people will not support you.
Yeah,
it happens with it happened. It's not bullshit. It happens in the real world. You see, just to give you an example, Colin Kaepernick is being supported by one of the big companies, right? So will you go buy a Colin Kaepernick T-shirt, or will you go buy a product from the company that's supporting him? This is just an example, right? Usually no. Why? Because he goes against your inner barometer.
And I think that guilt by association thing is the whole Comicsgate is late notion.
No.
Because the bigger projects are late. Go ahead.
Let me interrupt there. It's not guilt by association. That will be on the receiving end from being accused of doing so. What the problem is that it's excuses through association internally.
Okay.
So if one is late,
Elaborate. Give us.
So if one person is late on a project, and this will be the chieftains, the kings, who whatever you guys call them, Ethan Meskyver. If one in that core group is late, then there is leeway for the others to repeat that same attitude.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I got to stop you there for a moment. That late thinking, it became mainstream when Todd McFarlane says, "Hey, look, I'm growing roses." Back in the early '90s, he said, "I'm growing roses. That's why my stuff is late."
Yeah, but are we in the '90s or are we in the 2020s?
No. The point is, it's not something that has been originated.
No.
Currently.
I can get that point that it's been.
Yeah, it didn't just invent forever. Now, but I think what you're saying is pretty much what I said earlier. The fact that you have these upper tier, these more well-known people being fabulously late on projects, and if they're late on a project, then my middling project here being late, that's okay because everyone knows these guys are late and they're still making it, so no one really cares if I'm late. There's no role model higher up where they can say, if I'm late, it's like, holy crap, I'm late. Everyone's looking at me for being late because nobody else is late.
Yeah, and these guys, these top tiered guys, they shouldn't be late. They should be the ones setting the example for everyone else to follow. Okay. They should be the ones that are showing everyone else, the smaller guys, how it's done and how it's done right. It shouldn't be guys like me trying to tell them how it should be done right. They should be telling me that it is the opposite.
Wait a minute. That's they shouldn't be anything. They should be doing whatever they're doing.
They should be leading the pack, dude.
No.
Okay, I question the panel here. I have to question the panel. Does CG still run as a centralized or a decentralized network or an association?
It was never anything. It was always just a hashtag. It's like, yeah, I believe that too. It's like, I don't go to church on Sundays, but I believe this, and this, so I'm a Christian.
CG's decentralized. If otherwise, it would be a company, and there would be rules.
I always
and
said they should have been a company. They should have just made
the
CG level and been done with it.
That's
Lock Day.
Yeah.
But they have essentially, it's called All Caps Comics. It's just underneath a different label and different lettering.
Well, I think that All Caps Comics is a company that exists within CG's banner. There is no CG.
Well,
company.
I mean, Ethan owns the trademark, does he not? Or at least he has very good contention for it. So
I
would argue to disagree with that there definitely is a label, that there definitely is a monetized value in having that name. Absolutely.
As for All Caps Comics, I would say that it's a company that is Van Skyver's venture, but he takes in a lot of other professionals that have existed in the professional. Yeah.
Does he take non-CG professionals?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Well, the answer is no.
Well, it's rhetorical, yeah. But you can
so
play
that just
with
goes to my point that All Caps is a CG label.
Yes, it's a CG label, but
run by the top guy is CG, and populate it with the most popular ex-pro people there is. Dale Keown, Aaron.
But if you don't publish if you don't publish in all caps, it doesn't mean you're not CG.
No, but it means you're just like a normal other indie creator, which goes to my point. Is you don't need to wave a CG flag to say, "Hey, I make fucking indie comics."
Yeah, I don't vouch like CG or anti-CG. I'm just a comics creator. That's because I'm too far moved away from the US. I'm not in the US. So I can't really, I don't have any stake or claim in that. It's just that what I saw when it came to like CG has just like been running some kind of parallels to like Gamergate. But it originated for me online rather than being like a US thing, although that it's specifically targeting against US companies like Marvel and DC. It's existed solely on like a virtual platform where you can connect with the whole world to get a customer base worldwide, you know?
I got to run, RJ. I do have company here. I don't want to keep them bored watching me rant all night.
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring up, guys, you know, speaking of late, it was late, not on my end, but on Diamond's end, ransomware attack. But it is coming out December 8th. You can get Niobe $4.99. You don't have to wait a year for it to be shipped to you. You don't have to pay overpriced comic book charges, okay? $4.99. You can go ahead and check out our work and see if it's something for you.
Excellent. This has been, I'll be honest with you, I kicked this thing off on a whim with a list, and I thought, this is a 10-minute stream, and nobody's going to show up, and I'll rant, and I'll be done.
Oh, it's a hot topic, brother.
Lo and behold.
Yeah, this is, I'm glad I did this. I think this was good discussion. You know, hopefully I did not take it easy on anybody who didn't deserve it. I think I was fair in my assessment of the late campaigns. If I wasn't, Critical Blast on Twitter, our DMs are open.
Send all hate mail to GeorgePeterGatsis.com.
My email is Brandon@thewhitehouse.com.
Wait a second. I'm dating myself now because I'm going back to the origins of the internet, but I kind of remember when whitehouse.com was a brothel. Yeah, whitehouse.gov was the White House, and whitehouse.com was a brothel, and a lot of people got surprised.
I'm going to disagree with Reed Troutman here. Reed says smaller CG creators make way more than their non-CG creator counterparts on the whole. Bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Because Kickstarter has just way more people, way more creators on there. You're only looking at through the eyes of Indiegogo, my friend, and I can tell that. Go to Kickstarter and have a flip through. Your eyes will be amazed.
And I'll surprise some people with this. There are CG creators on Kickstarter, because
they cross crowdfund on both platforms.
There are CG creators who originated on Kickstarter and simply stay there too. They just haven't gone to Indiegogo because they weren't here for the Captain Cummings, your boy Zach, all that good stuff. They're just like, hey, I'm into comics. I want to make comics. What is this group? Yes, I believe that. I'll plant my flag here. So they've sort of like missed all. They joined the church, but Jesus already ascended, and the apostles are scattered around the world. If that makes any kind of analogous sense. So they just said, yeah, I want to be part of this, but they weren't there for everything that went down. So they've missed all the CG doctrine, if you'd call it that. Anyway, 23K for Ron Mars. You know what? I'll take 23K on a project. I would love to have $23,000 right now.
I've seen comics creators do less than $2,000 on some of their projects, so I wouldn't laugh at 24K there.
No. I was just laughing like.
No, not you. I'm talking to the dude in the chat there.
Oh yeah,
read here. Yeah, well, you would expect. And by the way, Tatsu, thank you for the super stickers. They look. I don't see them in the StreamYard. I just see that I got one, but I do have the chat running here in case I got to do anything, and they show up here. So that I love the cute little dancing cat, and now I've got a wiener in a bun. I'm not sure if that's a proposition.
You just got a schlong, man.
Yeah,
that's hot.
It's a hot dog.
Yeah,
but thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so Larry, you got to go. It's been 2 hours. I think it's a good time to wrap it up.
Well, thank you for letting me at least rant a little bit. I've been wanting to talk about this for like the last week. I've just seen so many videos come up. I watched Ethan, sort of replay Telepathic Bunny's video. I watched fucking what's his name, Forced Adversity, do it today. I watched some other guy talk about it the other night. I watched Dean and Vicky talk about the late books. It's a hot topic, man, and it's been something that I've been itching to sort of get off my chest, because all I'm saying is if a guy like me in buckfuck nowhere Canada can get his shit done, then so can the rest of these guys.
Yep, I can't disagree with that. So with that, guys, everybody, thank you for showing up. Appreciate you jumping in here and having the discussion. Folks in the chat, always appreciate you showing up. We don't have a show if you're not out there listening, so we appreciate that. There's no links to follow tonight. Isn't that nice? And with that, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.
Oh, my
Peace.
darling whiskers. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. No. I'm overdue. I'm really in a stew. No time